Welcome to the Self Talk Show with Dr. Ian Levine, a personal life coaching to help you transform your self talk, mindset, brain agility, and mental health. You will receive help setting goals, identifying the obstacles blocking you, and learning what strategies you can take to help you succeed in life and work. This is an experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, reinvent your life.
The information provided on the Self Talk Show is coaching and not counseling or therapy. This information is not intended to assess, diagnose, treat, or cure any illness, sickness, disease, or imbalances. This is coaching solely for educational, self awareness, and personal growth purposes. If you are experiencing physical or psychological sickness, please dial 911 or visit a medical practitioner.
Welcome to the Self Talk Show. I am Dr. Ian Levine, and I am so happy that you took time to be here with me. And you know what the Self Talk Show is all about. It's a wonderful experience for you to renew your mind, to rewire your brain, and to ultimately reinvent your life. So, what are we speaking about? What are we having this amazing conversation today on the Self Talk Show? We're speaking about the answers. Yes, you heard me correctly. The answers. And just like in your personal life and in your professional life, we know that we are always looking for answers. The answer to how to get better, how to get stronger. For some of you, the answer may be how to succeed in life and work. The answer, how to be promoted on your job. There's so many answers that you are looking for in your personal and professional life. However, today on the Self Taught Show, there are also some answers for you, and I hope that our time together will be a most meaningful experience for you. So, once again, welcome to the Self Taught Show, an experience for you, personally for you, to renew your mind. Yes, to renew your mind, to rewire your brain, and to ultimately reinvent your life. The answers. There is always an answer. And as I do my coaching here on the Self Taught Show, I always depend upon what I call the Self Taught Bible or the Self Taught Manual. What to say when you talk to yourself, what to say when you talk to yourself, which was written in the 1980s by my mentor, Dr. Shad Hemstetter. What to say when you talk to yourself. And yes, you talk to yourself every waking moment, every waking second, every wake minute. You are speaking to yourself subconsciously. You are saying things to yourself every single waking hour of the day. The answers. There is always an answer. I know for some of you, you will have attended workshops and seminars and conferences, and you have attended so many or some personal and professional development workshop or conference or seminar just to do what? To develop yourself so that you can become a better person in life and in work. And for some of you, you probably would have attended loads of seminars, but there just seem to be the missing link. And I have friends who go to every seminar in the world. They're flying from Cayman to the United States of America or from different places in the world just to receive new knowledge. And for some of them, they come back and they say, my brother, guess what? I've attended so many seminars. I'm going to another seminar within the next couple of weeks, but there seems to be a missing link. There seems to be something happening in my life that I just can't get to the next level in my life. But today, here on the Self Talk Show, I have the answer for you. For some of you, the answer may be written in a book. Yes, that's good. For some of you, the answer may be attending a seminar, going to church, having a personal life coach, having personal and professional development on a consistent basis. But there is a better answer for you. And what is the answer? The answer sits right here. The answer is your brain. The answer is how the brain works. The answer is not just how the brain works, but the answer is better than this. It's how your brain works. And as I said today, I am reading from what I considered as the self-taught Bible or the self-taught manual. Again, what to say when you talk to yourself, what to say when you talk to yourself, written by my mentor, Dr. Shad Hemstetter. So let's speak briefly about the brain. The human brain, that incredible, powerful, personal computer control center that each of us has, is capable of doing for you anything reasonable that you'll like it to do for you. I want you to digest this. I want you to receive this deep within your spirit, in your soul, in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in your emotions. The human brain, yes, your human brain. And we've been told that in the average adult, the brain weighs about 3 pounds. Yes, this this head of mine and that beautiful head of yours, it contains the brain. And I hope sometime in the future I'll be able to speak more on the deep working of the brain. But on average, in the average adult, the brain weighs about approximately 3 pounds, and it contains 100 billion neurons. Once again, a different lesson for a different time. But the human brain, your brain, that incredible, powerful, personal computer control center that each of us has, is capable of doing for you, yes, making this live and direct, is capable of doing for you anything reasonable that you're like it to do for you. But there is that conjunction, but you have to know how to treat it. Very deep, very profound, and I think that I'll redo this session sometime in the near future. But you have to know how to treat your brain. I am here using my laptop, and then I picked up the laptop. The laptop said fully charged, 100% fully charged. However, although I am fully aware that my laptop is 100% fully charged, guess what I did? If you can see right here, I have my charger plugged into my wall. It says fully charged, and it's going to give me at least 2 hours of consistent performance once I'm plugged in here on the system. 2 full hours, but we know the self-taught show is only 1 hour. So, but eventualities, I say, let me have my computer plugged in and all ready to go. So we know how to take care of the computer. I want my computer to be fully charged. And what did it do? I have it on the charger. A bit more personal and extremely personal and important to all of us, even more important to me, Ian Levine. We have this wonderful device, and you know what this wonderful device is? Our cell phone. And I know that you care about your cell phone. You make sure that your cell phone is packaged well in that nice secured cell phone case, so that in the event that your cell phone drops, it is well protected. You ensure that your cell phone is always accompanied by its charger or its charger cord. So you do anything and everything to ensure that your cell phone is happy, that your cell phone is well protected. And based on my engagement with lots of persons, they treat a cell phone some person more than they treat themselves. And that's the truth. And that's okay. It's okay to treat your cell phone really good, but it's even more important that you treat yourself better than your cell phone. So remember, we just spoke about the brain, the answers. We attended workshops, we read books, but the most important critical aspect of all of this is your brain. But you have to know how to treat your brain. Just how you know how to treat your computer and your laptop and your cell phone, you have to know how to treat your brain. If you treat your brain just right and carefully give it right directions, it will do the right things. I want to say that. I want you to really digest this. So if you treat your brain right and you give your brain the right directions, your brain will do the right things. It's similar to your GPS. You have your GPS with all things working equal. And we know that technology can change from time to time depending on the satellite and the GPS system. But you key in your coordinates where you want to go on your GPS, and with everything being equal, it's going to take you there. You may have a bit of meandering here and there, but generally you have your GPS, you key in your directions, and it's going to take you there. And we just heard this about the brain. You give your brain the right directions, and it will do the right things for you. It will work for you in the right way. So you give your GPS and your car the right directions, more than likely it's going to do the right thing for you and it's going to take you to your destination. But if you give your mental program, and we're speaking about the brain, if you give your mental program the wrong directions, it will act on those wrong directions. You heard me correctly. So you give your brain the right directions, it's going to give you the right directions, you're going to get the right results. And similarly, if you give your brain the wrong directions, you're going to get the wrong results. But if you give your mental computer, your mental capacity, the wrong directions, it will act on those wrong directions. It will continue to respond to the negative programming that you and the rest of the world have been given it without even being aware of it. So you give your brain the right directions, the results will be the right directions. You give your brain the wrong directions, the results will be the wrong directions. So it's important that you take care of your brain. You take care of everything else, but you have to take care of your brain. And how do you take care of your brain? Obviously, in addition to having proper diet and nutrition and the proper rest and the essential fats and the amount of water, everything in terms of diet and nutrition and rest and the required vitamins for your brain. All those things are important, critically important for the health of your brain. But also, what is important for the health of your brain is the messages you give to your brain. Yes, the messages that you give to your brain. And even as we speak here about the messages which you give to your brain, I want to share with you. I've spoken about this before on the show and on several programs. And I actually today I was also on a program a bit earlier today. I was on a program for 1 hour speaking about self-talk, speaking about the workings of the brain, speaking about neuroscience, and that program was very, very beneficial, really beneficial, and persons were challenged and transformed, and they have pledged to become the best they can be in life and work. So the brain, the 148,000 knows. And we spoke about this some time ago. What you put in, you're going to get out without a shadow of a doubt. So we've been told that by the moment you reach the age of 18, so let's say that you grew up in a reasonably stable household. So you grew up in a family environment which is stable, pretty stable, which is loving, minimum conflicts. So you grew up in a really nice household. By the time you reach the age of 18, 1 8, you would have heard 148,000 no's. Yes, you heard me correctly. Not 148 no's or 48 no's or 14 no's. But by the time you reach, or a person would have reached the age of 18, he or she would have heard. And remember, we're speaking about a person who would have grown up in a reasonably stable, loving home environment. That person would have heard at least 148,000 no's. Yes, if you have your pen, if you have your paper, if you have your paper, if you have your pencil, wherever you have that, you can document what I'm saying. I want you to take time to write that down. You will have heard 148,000 no's. That is incredible. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't become this. No, you can't become that. For you personally, how many no's do you think you would have heard from the moment you were born by the time you reach the age of 18? How many no's do you think you would have heard? And unfortunately, you heard those no's from who? From your parents, from your grandparents, from your siblings, from your aunts and your uncles, from your teachers. Yes, also from your teachers, from persons who have that greatest level of authority over your life. And we know that persons who have the greatest level of authority in over our life, that person has a greater level of influence over our life. So whatever they say to us, we believe. So you would have heard the 148,000 no's. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. And the more you heard those messages by the process of repetition. So you heard those messages became programmed in your mind. Yes, let me say that again. You heard those messages, those negative messages, those messages became programmed in your mind. However, the more you heard those messages became stronger and stronger and stronger. I have a pair of 20-pound weights. The next time I come on the self-taught show, I'll use my weights as an example for us. But the more you heard those messages by the process of repetition, those messages became stronger and stronger. Yes, stronger and stronger and stronger. And it is those messages that became hardwired in your brain. You heard the messages first, they were programmed in your mind, but the more you heard those messages, they became stronger and stronger and stronger. And those messages became hardwired in your brain. And no wonder that that is who we became and who you became, but the process of that level or that layer of socialization, how you were socialized from the moment you were born, and the negative messages that many hundreds of thousands of persons receive by the time they would have reached the age of 18. Remember, today on the Self Talk Show, we're speaking about the answers. And the answers lie in your brain. And we've also been told by leading behavioral researchers that at least 77% of everything we think is negative. At least, and we know that that is just minimum. We're actually being generous with that figure. At least 77% of what we think is negative. We have our thoughts are negative, non-productive, and thoughts which work against us. Just imagine that 77% of everything we think is negative, counterproductive, and worse, those thoughts are working against us. And I just want to be a bit more prescriptive here for the next minute before we go for a quick break. I just want to
mindset, brain agility,
some
and
strategies
mental health. You will
to
receive
help us through where we go wrong with our negative thinking. This is the Self-Taught Show. I am Dr. Ian Levine. I'll be back with you in a moment. Stay with me and don't go anywhere. Stay with me.
Welcome to the Self-Talk Show with Dr. Ian Levine, a personal life coaching to help you transform your self-talk, mindset, brain agility, and mental health. You will receive help setting goals, identifying the obstacles blocking you, and learning what strategies you can take to help you succeed in life and work. This is an experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, reinvent your life.
The information provided on the Self-Talk Show is coaching and not counseling or therapy. This information is not intended to assess, diagnose, treat, or cure any illness, sickness, disease, or imbalances. This is coaching solely for educational, self-awareness, and personal growth purposes. If you are experiencing physical or psychological sickness, please dial 911 or visit a medical practitioner.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome to the Self-Talk Show with Dr. Ian Levine, a personal life coaching to help you transform your self-talk, mindset, brain agility, and mental health. You will receive help setting goals, identifying the obstacles blocking you, and learning what strategies you can take to help you succeed in life and work. This is an experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, reinvent your life.
The information provided on the Self-Talk Show is coaching and not counseling or therapy. This information is not intended to assess, diagnose, treat, or cure any illness, sickness, disease, or imbalances. This is coaching solely for educational, self awareness, and personal growth purposes. If you are experiencing physical or psychological sickness, please dial 911 or visit a medical practitioner.
Welcome back to the Self Talk Show. I am Dr. Ian Levine, and I thank you for being here. And you know what the Self Talk Show is all about. It's an amazing experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, and to ultimately reinvent your life. So today on the Self-Taught Show, we are still on the answers. And earlier we spoke about where is this answer or where are the answers? It is in your brain. It's all about your brain. Earlier we spoke about the 148,000 knows that you or person would have heard by the time they reached the age of 18, 1 8. And we also spoke about the 77% of everything we think is negative, counterproductive, and works against us. And now I want to bring some more important information to you. Everything and everyone around us, without being aware of it, has been programming us. So the reality is that you are being programmed by any and everything around you. We spoke about this earlier that you have been programmed by your family, and you're always being programmed by your family. You're being programmed by media. You're being programmed by social media, and even here at Flashpoint, Flashpoint Media here in the Cayman Islands, you're also being programmed by Flashpoint Media and by the amazing team at Flashpoint Media and by all the programs being offered by Flashpoint Media. But the beautiful thing about the programs that you are receiving uh, from Flashpoint Media, that these are positive programs, these are productive programs, these are programs going to your spirit, going to your soul, going to your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. These are programs and brain rewiring food that will make you become a better person in life and work. But unfortunately, in the world which we are living in the world which you're living in, there are many things which are unfortunately programming you and programming many persons, hundreds of thousands or even millions of persons with negative programming. But we are so grateful that we can bring to you positive self-talk. We are happy that we can bring to you positive programming, which is good for your spirit, for your soul, for your body. And we are thankful that at this time, at this moment, that we are privileged to be a part of your personal and professional development regime. So how do you rise above every negative program or programming? The answer, the answer is in your brain. The answer is positive self-talk. The answer is what you say when you talk to yourself on a daily basis. The answer is what do you say when you talk to yourself from the moment you rise during the morning until the time that you are ready to take your rest at night. As I always say, it's important for you to feed your mind and feed your brain and feed your soul and your spirit with any and everything which is positive. Yes, you heard me correctly. Today on the program that I was a part of earlier today, we spoke about that. listening to empowering music, reading something empowering, reading anything that can lift your spirit and build your spirit. It's important that we digest positivity on a regular basis. For how do we become wired or rewired in our brain? How can we renew, or how can you renew your mind? By the process of repetition. Remember earlier we said that the messages that you receive from the moment you were born, the messages that you receive from by the time you reach the age of 18, that those messages, 148,000 of those messages were negative messages, counterproductive messages, messages which work against you because you heard those messages on a repetitive basis, the negative messages on a repetitive basis. So if negative messages on a repetitive basis, those messages have the capacity to program your mind and also have the capacity to rewire or wire your brain with a stance of negativity. Therefore, if negativity can do that, imagine what can happen and what will happen when we feed ourselves repetitively with positive messages, with empowering messages, with good messages on a daily basis. Taking in those messages like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So how do we do this, or how do we do that? Extremely important that by the time you wake on morning that you fill yourself with something empowering. For some persons, it may be reading the Bible, reading a scripture from the Bible. For some persons, it may be doing a bit of positive journaling, helping to prepare them for the start of the day. For some persons, it may be reading something inspirational or motivational. For some person, it may be having your earphones or your earplugs and listening to something empowering and motivational, something that will get you going for the day. And that is the first strategy I want to leave with you. That as soon as you aware that you literally engage yourself, engage your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions, engage your spirit and your soul with something which is empowering, with something which is inspirational, with something which can take you throughout the day. I've heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I am not here to say whether that's right or wrong, because I've now been hearing just like how most of you have already heard that many practitioners are now and health gurus are now speaking about inter, intermittent fasting. So they're saying you shouldn't eat anything when you wait. You should go a couple hours into the day, and then you have your first meal for the day, and they call stuff biohacking. And so whether that's right or wrong, we are not here to discuss that or dispute that or validate that. But all I'm saying is that as soon as you obey, I want you to feed your mind, feed your soul and your spirit, feed your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions with something positive, something inspirational, something that will get you going for the day. I call that the vitamin P, the vitamin positive, just like how we need vitamin D3 and all the other vitamins and minerals and supplements, we also need the same for our psychological and our mental well-being and our psychological capacity, in order that we can go through the day with a purpose to achieve our best us and your best you in life and work. Can you promise me that today, that starting tomorrow, I really want you to promise me that. But better yet than making the promise to me, can you promise yourself that from tomorrow, as soon as you obey, that you will be intentional, that you will be deliberate about speaking something good over your life, listening to something positive or inspirational, reading something positive, empowering, or inspirational, in order to get you going for the day. That's number one. Number two, take time to write. And it was so it was so comforting when I was on that other program a bit earlier today that I see one of the hosts. She actually had a pencil with her. It seemed and it looked very unusual because these days we hardly write anything. We are engaged with our computers, we are taking notes, and that's good because we are in a technological age. So we're using our computers, we're using our mobile devices, and we hardly take time to document anything. We come to seminars and we just record or we use our technological device or gadgets, and that's perfectly okay. But I want you to make a motivational contract with yourself by taking a piece of paper, taking a piece of paper, taking your marker or your pen or whatever your paper, your pen, your pencil, and just write three positive things about yourself. Three positive things about yourself. And read those three positive things about yourself at least 3 times per day. I always say like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As soon as you are are up sometime in the afternoon, and also the read that and also listen to something encouraging just before you go to sleep at night. I want you to take time to write three things, three positive, empowering things about yourself. Because when you do that, you are creating a psychological contract with yourself. Not about me, not about your neighbor, not about the person to your left or to your right. It's not about anyone else, but this is about you making that psychological contract with yourself, taking that level of personal responsibility for your positive self talk, being intentional about your positive self talk. There's nothing better than doing something for ourselves. It's like when we go to the car wash or we have someone clean our car. It, it it saves time, and yes, you have to pay for that, but it saves time. It saves your time and your energy, and your car looks really good. But sometimes when you wash your car yourself and you see the glow and the smell on your vehicle, that gives a certain level of satisfaction, a greater level of satisfaction, even better than when someone did it for you. And it's exactly the same for yourself, for your personal growth and development, for your spiritual enrichment. That when you take time to be intentional with yourself and for yourself, you're going to feel more fulfilled. You're going to feel more satisfied. Why? Because you are doing it for you. That is one of the greatest gifts you can do for yourself, is to empower yourself. So number one, remember we spoke about number one, listening to something inspirational, empowering, listening to something inspirational or empowering, listening on whatever device you choose to listen on. Listen to something, read something empowering and motivational. Number two, we just spoke about that. Taking time to write three things, a very simple but yet important assignment for you. Taking time to write just three things, three positive things about you, three positive things about your life. And if it is at all possible, I know we have the wonderful host there at Flashpoint Media right there in the background. I'm making this possible for me. I'm making it possible for you. I'm making this show possible for the world. But if it is possible at this time, I just ask them just to say one positive. I'm not asking them to show their face. They can stay right there in their own space in the studio, but just Just say one positive thing about yourself. Just say this just as a matter of encouragement for persons who will be listening to this self-talk show after, to know that I'm just not asking persons to do something, but I'm asking them to do something for themselves. So just one positive thing that you want to say about yourself, one thing you like about yourself.
I am beautiful.
Awesome. I asked you to say one thing, but that came out so easy. Say three things, just like how I'm asking our folks to write three things about themselves. I want you, and that came out so natural. So even as you said that you are beautiful, I felt it. Those just weren't mere words. I literally felt when you say I am beautiful, I felt that that came from within the core of who you are. So just as that came out so easily and so with the greatest level of sincerity, I want you to say three things, three amazing, positive things about yourself.
I am beautiful, resilient, and
I
positive.
love that. So you say you are beautiful, you are resilient, and you are positive. And that is amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that. You're beautiful, you are resilient, and you are positive. And what about your colleague? We just have maybe about 10 minutes to go before we wrap up here on the Self-Taught Show. What about your amazing colleague right there with you? Three positive things about yourself.
I am tenacious, bold, and resilient.
Awesome, tenacious, bold, and resilient. And that was extremely amazing. And sometimes for men, it's very hard for us to say something positive or something nice or something cuddly about ourselves. But the reality is that yes, the world has already given us enough negative programming that it is time for us to give ourselves something positive. I remember maybe 3 years ago, I did a certain project, and a colleague said to me, "Oh, Ian, you are good." And I wasn't being I wasn't being egotistical about my response, but they said, "Oh, Ian, you're good." And I said, "You know what? I am great." And the person said, "Well, self-praise isn't any praise." And I never responded because I know that my colleague does not understand the depth of how the brain is wired, how the mind is programmed or processes information. So they said, "Ian, you're good." And I said, "No, I'm great." And they said, self-praise isn't no praise. The reality is that self-praise has to be praised. And why do I say that? Because the negative messages, the negative programs that we have heard from the moment we were born, the negative messages and the 148,000 those that we will have heard by the time we reach the age of 18, we are so fast to repeat those, whether we repeat those with what we speak, or we repeat those with what we say, or we repeat those by our actions or behavior. There's no problem with that. So therefore, I have my own responsibility. I have a personal responsibility to speak great things over my life. And similarly for you, you also have an awesome responsibility. I would even push this a bit more for you. You have an innate responsibility. You have an intrinsic responsibility. You have a God given, God birth responsibility to speak great things over your life. to speak great things over your life. So there's nothing wrong that if the world said that you are good, that you can with great confidence say, no, I am not good, that I am great. You are great. You are great. You are greater than great, and let no one say anything different about you. Every single day, say something good about yourself. So, number one, because listening to something positive or reading something positive, inspirational, or empowering. Number two, just like our wonderful host at the amazing Flashpoint Media just said, I am bold, I am resilient, I am tenacious, I am positive, I am beautiful. That was number two. Say something, at least three positive things about yourself and repeat those at least 3 times a day. And number three, act. Take action. So just don't say, do things positive. Act as if you are beautiful because, yes, you are beautiful. Let your behavior correspond with your words. Let your behavior correspond with your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. So you can't say that you're bold, but you're operating, behaving in a shy manner. You can't say that you are resilient and yet you are living a life that doesn't show resilience. You can't say that you are tenacious, but yet your actions and your behaviors does not align with being tenacious. You can't say that you are beautiful, but yet you're not conducting yourself in a way that persons who are beautiful will normally conduct themselves. You can't say that you're positive, but yet your actions are negative actions. So everything you think, everything you believe, that's number three. Ensure that you model that action. Three simple strategies I am leaving with you here on the Self Talk Show. Remember, today we spoke about the answers. The answers just, those answers aren't just lying on the pages of a book or on the seats or the platform of conferences and seminars, but the answer lies within your brain. The answer lies within you. And remember, as you go through this week, and generally as you go through every single day of your life, I want to encourage you once again, as you overcome the negative challenges in your life. Number one, wake up every single morning with something positive and something inspirational in your eyes, in your ears, upon your lips. Number one, listen to something positive, read something positive, inspirational every single day, at least 3 times a day. But importantly, when you wake and just before you go to bed at night. Number two, remember, say 3 positive things about your life. Write that down, 3 positive things about your life, and read that. Read that as regularly as you can every single day. And number three, number one, number two, number three, model what you say about yourself. Model what you think about yourself. So if you say that you are positive, behave positive. If you say you're beautiful, carry yourself with beauty. If you say that you are resilient, exhibit to the world that you are resilient. And I can assure you that as you do these 3 things on a daily basis, that your life will glow. Your life will become a great life because you have done what is necessary to become the best you in life and work. I am Dr. Ian Levine. I thank you for taking time to be with me here on the Self Taught Show. And again, I want to thank the amazing team at Flashpoint Media right here in Grand Cayman in the Cayman Islands for hosting this show and making me look good and making me sound good, just as they themselves are looking good and sounding good. Team at Flashpoint, publicly I say thank you. Once again, I am Dr. Ian Levine, This is the Self-Talk Show, an experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, and to ultimately reinvent your life. My time is up. I thank you for yours. God bless you and thank you.
Welcome to the Self-Talk Show with Dr. Ian Levine, a personal life coaching to help you transform your self-talk, mindset, brain agility, and mental health. You will receive help setting goals, identifying the obstacles blocking you, and learning what strategies you can take to help you succeed in life and work. This is an experience for you to renew your mind, rewire your brain, reinvent your life.
The information provided on the Self-Talk Show is coaching and not counseling or therapy. This information is not intended to assess, diagnose, treat, or cure any illness, sickness, disease, or imbalances. This is coaching solely for educational, self-awareness, and personal growth purposes. If you are experiencing physical or psychological sickness, please dial 911 or visit a medical practitioner.